Hi, this is Lori with A Voice in the Dark, and this is our Storytime edition. At Storytime, we'll be telling stories that um, if we hope you never have to use them, but if you do, they're stories of empowerment and how to find your empowerment. And while we're doing that, I thought, since we all like to color, whether it's crayons, ink pens, pencils, whatever, um, I was working on a coloring book that I didn't finish yet, so I thought I could use it here. I'll put up a picture and you can stop the video and you can print the screen and then come back and we'll color and I'll tell stories. How's that? I think you'll enjoy it. I think you will find words that can help. I hope, and if you need it. So, with no further ado, um, here's the picture. There you go. And now I'm going to readjust my microphone so I can color and you can still hear me. Um, my first story is a story about how I found my voice and the empowerment of my voice. How it's a superpower, really, if you look at it, and how it's helped me in several different incidences that have happened in my life. So, let's color and tell a story. You see, everyone has that one friend of the family or one family member that, is extra talkative and extra nice and, always getting the attention of the adults and sitting next to the children. And, well, we had one like that. And my parents had a bar. And back then, those days, kids could be in them. They were family bars. And I was sitting at the bar, and their, neighborhood friend, who came in and was telling my mom while she was working behind the bar, um, stories about his vacations and showing me pictures and her pictures. And he just would keep rattling on and rattling on. And then my mom got called down to the other end of the bar to take care of a customer. And this friend of the, neighborhood commenced to try to put his hands up one of my pant legs. I had shorts on, it was summer. And I was like froze. And all I did was look up straight ahead and say, "Mom," real loud. And his hand came out so fast that I realized in that moment that was my power, my voice. And I looked at him, and my mom had come down to this part of the bar, and she said, "What do you need, honey?" And I looked at him, and I looked at her. I said, "I need a soda. Can I get a Coke?" And she said, "Yeah, honey, I'll get you a soda." And I looked at him, and I glared at him. He knew that I knew my power now. And he took his pictures, and he gathered them up, and put them away, and left. And we never saw him again until years later. And I saw him in a restaurant talking to my parents years later. I had children then. And then my children were with my parents. And I did make a scene, however. I didn't care. Those were my children. And I let him know that I remembered him, I knew what he was, and to leave immediately and to never speak to my parents or my children again. And he did. I mean, the whole restaurant heard me, and my parents, they were kind of embarrassed. However, I didn't care because, you know, I didn't like people like him. And a lot of times they make you feel intimidated. Like your parents like them so much that, you know, you're not going to tell them because they like me, and that's just the impression they give you. It isn't true. It's never true, not really. There may be rare instances, but normally there isn't. It's not true. And so, anyway, that was the first incident I had with a pedophile that I found my power, which was, I was lucky, it blessed, whatever you want to call it, but I realized then my voice was my superpower. And to trust my instincts. And I did. So, I don't know. I hope you never have to run into one of these people, or if you have in your past, now you know that they exist, and sometimes we don't know what to say, and sometimes we do. But I hope you never have to deal with one of them. They're creepy, slimy, yucky, make you feel that way anyway. So then, later on, years later, I was 17. Well, no, 16. I take it back. 16. And I had my first job. It was a little place, little taco place, and in town. My dad knew the owner and gotten me the job there, and that was cool. And it was only a few miles from our house, so I loved it. I didn't have to go that far. And I'm working in the kitchen, and I'm alone because I was working making taco shells. I had them in the deep fryer, and this guy comes up behind me, and he's kind of getting a little too close for comfort, and kind of rubbed. I mean, it was a small kitchen. I mean, it was just a little galley area, and I thought, well, and then he started talking about, oh, I would love to buy you a mink coat, or diamonds or something. And I turned around and looked at him. I'm like getting uncomfortable, so I figured out what he was after. And I just looked at him and I said, well, let me see what my dad says about that. And he freaked out. He freaked out and went, oh, no, that's okay. And I left the taco shells sitting there and in the deep fryer. And I said, I quit. I'll see you later. You can mail me a check. And so anyway, again, I learned what my power was. You have to trust that you can tell your parents anything. Just, there's very few parents out there that you cannot tell. And if that's the case, then, there's always a school teacher, nurse, or, a different authority figure if your parents don't back you up on something that comes up that is violating your space and your person. So that was my second big one. And unfortunately, they tend to happen throughout life. But my mouth was my superpower. The next situation that came up, I was playing outside. My parents had a tavern, a rather popular nightclub and tavern, and kind of a restaurant. So anyway, I was playing out back, and this car pulls up, and it's a happy young couple, older than me, obviously. I was only like 9 or 10, and they get to talking to me, and they said, hey, you want to go to a party with it? Well, first they asked, oh, do your parents own this bar? And I'm like, yeah. You don't know, you say yeah. And I said yeah. And they said, well, hey, we're going to a party. Would you like to go to a party with us? We'll have cake and ice cream. And I looked at him and I said, well, I don't like cake or ice cream. What else are you going to have? That kind of stumbled them a little bit. I mean, you can look at it now and see it. But anyway, they went, well, what do you like? I said, well, I like hamburgers. They said, well, we'll get hamburgers. Come on. And he opened the car door for me to get in. I said, well, okay, hang on. I got to tell Mom and Dad because I've always got to tell them where I'm going. And I ran into the house to tell them. Well, my dad ran out and that the car was long gone. And so when your parents tell you to, you tell them where you're going all the time. It's for instances like this. And no car that pulls over with an adult in it should want anything from a child, whether it's to look for a lost dog, a lost cat, a lost kid. No, they should be asking adults, not kids. So you take off and you run. And if you have to, yell. Yell fire, because nobody seems to understand anything else. But yell and run. Your voice is your superpower. Use it. And your legs are made for running, so run. But those are my three main instances of unfortunate events that could have really went the wrong way. But they did not. So I think it's something that just might be helpful to someone out there. The reason I mentioned in the first story about the friend or the family member that everyone likes, it's someone that everyone likes because they're a storyteller. They yak, 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 yak. They tell you about this, tell you about that. But if you notice the way they look, they're constantly keeping an eye on your parents and one eye on you. And they're getting closer. They'll sit real close to you. The leg will touch yours or whatever. And just stay aware of your surroundings and people like that. Not all good people that like to tell you stories and show you things and blah, blah, blah are a pervert or a pedophile. But they do act in those ways. Always happy and hey, hey, hey. And even someone that wants to kidnap you is usually, hey, what's going on? Hey, and if they aren't coaxing you with a party, they might be, coaxing you with, can you help me find my dog? Yeah. Let me go get my mom. And run and get your mom. Or your dad or whoever. But go get an adult you know and trust. Immediately. Do not hesitate. And, because, like I said, no adult has any business asking a child for that kind of help. At all. Then, your employer, and this happens a lot, especially to girls, and it wasn't the first time, it was the first time, the story I told you, but it wasn't the last time. And as you get older, you'll find different ways of basically telling them to fuck off. But always use your parents. Yeah, let me run that by my parents, see what they think. Yeah, your father will have a cow because he knows exactly what that story's about. Oh, I want to buy you some fur coats, and they're getting real close to you and stuff. They haven't said anything particular yet, but the innuendo's there, and you know it because it makes you feel uncomfortable. You can always feel when somebody's making you feel uncomfortable. Listen to your feelings. Get to know those feelings. And trust them and get away as soon as possible from that kind of person. They don't have any rights to violate you in any way, shape, or form. I don't even think in thought, but you can't stop people's thoughts. But you can stay away from them, so trust your feelings. It's important. And if you get done with that coloring page and you want to send it to my email, you can, but you don't have to. And you ask your parents first if you're young. Um, and we'll do a thing of them without your name on it or anything. And then we'll just show the pictures, at some point that everybody did. Anyway, I didn't mean for it to be this long. I mean, short. Okay. But I hope it helps somebody out there if you need any help. And remember that adults do care. And it's the real rare. I mean, it's so rare that it's hardly spoken of or needs to be spoken of, that a parent wouldn't support and love you and look for you forever if you were lost. So, know your power. And know in your heart. Follow your heart. Your heart knows. Follow your heart. Don't ever listen to somebody and let them tell you what is your reality and what it isn't. Only you know that. Blessings and love. Hope you enjoyed the coloring page, and I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll talk to you later. Bye.